Go. All right. This week's review.
We
Wally,
are back.
you doing that again? You back to doing that again? This week's review is Highlander. Wally, there can only be one.
1986 Highlander.
We're going to fight about this movie. I'm pretty sure we're going to fight.
This movie is fucking awesome. And like I sent to us in the this movie fucks. And it fucks good. It doesn't have sex. It doesn't make love. This movie fucks.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
I just have questions mostly.
I don't think
no
we
question.
agree. I don't think we agree.
That's the thing about this movie. There should be no questions.
There's no question about if it fucks.
No.
My main question is about the man behind Ryan Murray right now.
The
What
thing
the hell is happening in this movie with accent?
this movie tells you everything it needs to tell you. It doesn't care about anything else. It's like, this is what we're giving you.
Okay.
That's it.
Get into it so we can get into it so we can talk about this thing because, yeah.
All right. So we open up with Sean Connery, who's reading a bit of text, which is on the screen. And open with the fabulous Freebirds coming to the ring.
Maybe the greatest open ever of a movie goes Sean Connery.
Michael
voiceover.
PSAs, Terry Gordy.
Sean Connery voiceover. Kick into boom. Queen.
Yeah. The fact that they got Queen to do this whole movie is
one awesome thing is Queen it does all the music.
Then into the fabulous Freebirds.
Yeah.
Bad Town USA.
Like
Bad Street, Atlanta, USA.
That is a pretty solid open.
Like, come on.
I didn't know who they were wrestling.
I have some questions because Freebirds never were in New York, but they're wrestling in Madison Square Garden here.
True.
So
who was the other guy? I couldn't place the third Freebird.
It wasn't Terry Gordy. It was.
It's not Jimmy Jam Garvin.
No,
because he came later. It was the short guy, the guy who got beat up all the time.
Not
Buddy.
It wasn't beautiful Bobby Eaton.
No. It was Buddy.
I'll find him. Buddy, let's go.
Rich?
Buddy Rich, I think, is a
Jimmy
musician.
Garvin?
Yeah, but Jimmy.
No, Jimmy was later.
Jimmy?
No. It was Buddy something.
Buddy Jack Roberts.
Yeah, Buddy Roberts. Yep. Those were the three. Jimmy Jam was like the new Freebirds. Jimmy Jam was a different character in not Mid-South. Where were they? Not
Texas?
The Texas promotion. What was that called? It wasn't Mid-South.
They started in Mid-South, but then they went to World Class Championship.
World Class.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jam was like a sexy guy who had like a lady with him, which is just funny if you've seen Jimmy Jam pictures of him. He's very weird. But he was like their friend, but he was never officially in the Freebirds until later, until like the 80s and 90s. But yeah, those three and Queen and an awesome. This movie's got weird stuff. We're going to talk about it, but it has kick-ass cinematography. This shot that they do where they zoom in, floated over the ring is incredible.
Yeah, it looks like you'd have to get it with like a drone nowadays.
Go steal that shot, wrestling companies, because that shot was awesome. Like the way they zoomed, like floated over the crowd and then like came in at an angle over the wrestling ring. That was awesome.
So I don't know who they're wrestling.
I couldn't picture it either.
One was the Tongan Kid.
Yep.
One was Tongan Kid.
But
so in this version, World Class is the top company, and they work with MSG.
We get the helicopter shot around the ring, and then up into the crowd, where we see a man who is in a trench coat. He's kind of paying attention to.
We see a cranky motherfucker,
completely pissed off to be there. Does not want to be there.
Why is he there?
Because he's got shit to take care of down in the garage.
So why is he in the venue?
Because
he's looking for the other dude.
Yeah, he's waiting for the other dude.
Which I'm confused about how that works. But
they feel each other, and they feel like a pull towards each other because it's the gathering.
gathering.
So we see a highlight reel of the match, and then the trench coat man is having a flashback of an ancient Scottish battle.
Trenchcoat Man is in this one.
For now, we haven't learned his name yet.
And now I learned reading online this was supposed to originally be a hockey game, but the NHL
Right.
wouldn't let them use it. So instead, because I think they wanted to show, modern violence and people
Yeah.
cheering versus the wars. And
Yeah.
It's also an
Whatever.
interesting idea because, like, if you need to have a secret fight, the best place to do it is in a garage during a game where no one's in the
Oh
garage.
yeah, sure.
It'd be a great place to have a secret fight. Now, that secret fight is pretty shitty.
What?
The fights in this are pretty bad. I don't know if you guys agree, but
You're crazy.
okay,
So-
just get to it so we can make fun of it.
Fucking trying.
Okay, go ahead. We're gonna have a lot of
So-
detours.
He leaves his seat to go outside to the parking lot. We find out that his name is McLeod, and he gets attacked by a man who has a sword. He fends him off and draws his own sword, and they have a nice sword fight
Yeah,
where they
man.
destroy some cars and some pipes.
Awesome sword fight where the dude is just backflipping.
For no
no
reason. He
reason.
does 1,000 backflips for no reason.
You
Down the
wouldn't
entire
if
To
row.
move more quickly, I think.
you wouldn't if you could do that.
Are backflips quicker than
I-
walking?
I guess.
Yeah.
He does a lot of backflips for no apparent reason.
So
I'm trying to figure out if you really like this movie or if you like it because it's
No.
goofy.
I straight up love. I've never seen it fully, and I absolutely love this movie. This movie's awesome.
So McLeod loses his sword, and then he starts using a pipe to defend himself. He falls down, and the other guy just backflips away to the end of the row and starts sneaking up on him.
Long backflip sesh. Let me get this in real quick.
And then he starts sneaking back up on McLeod as he works to get his sword back. McLeod then disarms him and decapitates the man.
Oh yeah, he fucking
his
slices
head
it.
off.
Then he eats his soul, apparently.
Yeah.
Dead-
Gains his
yeah.
power.
The
Gains
dead
his
man-
powers.
He eats his soul.
The dead man's body starts to glow, and electricity is released, causing the cars around him to start revving.
He
And
has like an
exploding.
electricity
Yeah.
orgasm.
Like, I get if the lights flicker. Why did this make the engines? Why did this turn the engines over and they
Why-
start revving?
Why did the cars come alive? That's what happened.
Because
Cars
that's
were
the
alive.
power. And now we have to remember is he sliced into the wall too.
Yes,
Right.
he did. He had.
Yeah, I have questions about that too because the sword is supposed to be like this amazing sword, but the other guy's sword is defeated by a pipe. You would assume that he would have also an amazing sword, but no, a
A,
pipe.
a Salamanca.
Or if he's got this 200-fold sword or whatever, it wouldn't leave chunks in a little concrete wall.
Oh,
No.
there's going to be a couple shards.
I mean, she's a good detective. She's great.
So
Or
McLeod
whatever
looks
she
like-
is. Art history detective in you know, they have those.
We're gonna get to her. Do you want to wait or? McLeod looks like he's absorbing all the excess energy, and when he finishes doing that, he runs away but hides the sword in the parking garage.
Which he can apparently just put in his pants and run around like nothing. So why he didn't do that, I don't know.
He's got that big ass coat. He can hide that shit in.
We get a flashback to ancient Scotland in 1536.
Not that
People want victory to the McLeod clan,
ancient. McLeod.
and everyone is
McLeod.
marching away from the castle. We see Connor, who is McLeod, cousin Dougal, and Angus, I'm guessing his uncle.
Angus,
Joe.
who is classic, been in Braveheart and was in Game of Thrones.
They're joking about going away to battle. It's Connor's first battle, and he takes some flowers from a very busty lass.
I believe that's his wife.
Is
I
she the
didn't
one
think
that
they were
yells at
married.
him later?
Yeah, she's
They're
the
at
one.
least his girlfriend, yeah.
She's
Yeah,
the one
she's-
who flips
At
out.
least his
later.
girlfriend. Yeah. Then we meet the evil guy. He wants to kill Connor himself.
The Kurgan.
Wow. Kurgan.
Fight
Kurgan.
me! Someone fight me! Fight
Okay.
me!
I like how Kurgan is still around in these movies. Not Kurgan the guy. Kurgan the name, though. Still around.
Fight
All
me!
year long.
leave me the boy. This 50-year-old guy, leave me the boy.
Oh boy.
The clans start to battle, and Connor's walking around the battlefield watching everyone fight. No one will fight him because the evil guy wants him to himself. Or Kurgan finds him and stabs him in the gut. He's about to deal the killing blow when he says there can be only one, and Dougal and Angus tackle him away. We go back to the present, and McLeod gets stopped by about 40 police officers as he drives away from the parking lot.
This man is simply driving out of a parking lot and gets a gun put to his head.
I can see it.
It is
Yeah.
New York City.
Yeah.
Yep. He gets stopped
Mm-hmm. He gets
for no reason. They don't
and he
know
gets
about the
arrested.
fight. They don't know
Yeah.
about the fight, right?
No.
I
Not
think
yet.
they're responding because of the power outage and all that.
Yeah.
Power surge, you mean?
Yeah.
Power sex surge.
Then we go back to Scotland, and a priest blesses Connor's body, and he says he's dying. Back to New York City, and forensics shows up on the crime scene. The cops are trying to figure out what happened and mentioned a similar scene in Jersey, but they thought it was just Jersey. Who cares?
Yeah,
There's
that's the
also
best part.
New York attitude.
A lot of Jersey hate in this movie.
Oh man, not
Even
if I
that-
could.
Even our guy Highlander out there busting on Jersey.
You hang out in New Jersey. Not if I can help it.
Ooh.
The,
Nice
foren-
job with that French Irish accent or whatever the
Oh,
fuck that
so
thing is
good.
supposed to
I
be.
love that accent.
He's
Love it.
French,
terrible.
trying to pretend to be Scottish.
Trying to, yeah.
It's
So good.
better. It's better than we get later.
The forensics lady, her name is Brenda, finds one of the swords, and she seems to know way too much about it.
Immediately knows everything.
At the police station, McLeod is being interrogated by the detective.
Oh man, such a funny thing. You cruising for some ass? Why you cruising for
Oh
some
my
ass?
god, this interrogation is like the Room levels of dialogue. It's
Yeah.
almost like the Room.
So they show him a picture of the guy who died in Jersey and a picture of the sword. He's an antique dealer, so he should know all about the sword, but he says he doesn't. The detective thinks
That
McLeod
right
and-
there means that he's fucking guilty because he should know what the sword is.
The detective thinks McLeod and Facile, who was the guy he was fighting, argued over the price of the sword, and McLeod killed him. McLeod says Facile might have been so depressed over the wrestling match that he cut
Yes.
his own head off.
How about this? He went down and was so depressed about it, he cut his own head off.
He lost money on the match and cut his own
Oh
head
my
off.
So
God.
good.
That's what happens when you bet against the Freebirds.
Oh man, if he had watched the Swamp match, only knows what he would have done to himself. Hung himself in a closet while jerking off, probably.
What I think is you went down to get a blowjob.
Yep, that's the asshole cop's theory. And he didn't want to pay for it. And
Yep.
then the asshole cop punches McLeod in the face.
Are you an F word, McLeod? No, are you cruising for some ass? I wish I could do his accent. I wish I could do
It's
the
so
accent.
bad. I don't
It is
know.
bad. So McLeod's not under arrest, so he just leaves. Then we see Kurgan, who's driving into New York City, and he gets a hotel room.
Now he's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Kurgan.
Well, he's classic punk, 80s punk looking guy, and blasting some Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
In his hotel room, he opens up his briefcase and takes out his sword. He assembles it and practices with it.
Oh, so awesome.
And then a
Right.
prostitute comes to his room.
And let's just say this: a sword you have to assemble
Yeah.
is very strong.
Always.
Very strong.
How is it strong?
No weak seams anywhere.
How?
No weaknesses.
How? He literally clips it into the little thing and it's like clip and play. How is this thing together?
I'm Candy. Oh yes, you are.
God. Right, and he has his throat slashed. Did we talk about that?
Oh, but we
Nice.
don't know
Yes.
why. We don't know
Yes.
why.
Right, but that's why he talks funny because he has clothespins holding his throat shut.
Why
Which
doesn't
I
he just
Did
carry?
not notice that until like
I don't think it's the whole
That's the
time. I
church
think that's
scene.
for looks later. I think that's
Yeah.
for like punk.
It's
Why doesn't he just carry around a giant case for a sword? Instead, he assembles it and
briefcase.
does
because they needed that kick-ass scene where he assembles his real dumb
so
sword.
kick ass. And then what? Well, we'll find out later that him and Candy are into some weird stuff. Which What
Ugh, I don't even want to know.
Okay.
What
okay.
could be?
Jesus
I assumed
Christ.
he killed Candy,
Yeah, he
I
definitely
assumed he
killed her.
killed Candy too,
but nope.
but
He
no.
just did some freaky deaky stuff.
Yeah.
So Brenda is
A
doing
lot of
some
nipple
work.
play. A lot of rough nipple play.
Jesus Christ. Brenda is doing some work
Ollie's
and
favorite.
she's baffled by something. McLeod returns to the parking garage to get his sword, and she shows up to look for more evidence. She finds some metal in one of the garage columns.
To
and-
find that alone was
Yeah.
probably very difficult.
Well, it was where he had chopped.
Yeah, but
Took
she
a
didn't
chunk
know
out.
that.
She brought like a metal detector with her too, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very smart.
I mean that
So
art history job at the police station really paid off.
Mhm.
Taxpayers' money really paid off here.
she hears McLeod as he leaves, and then she goes to a bar and she gets a drink. McLeod shows
This
up
is
and
fucking creepy.
Oh,
McCloud.
man.
tries to
creepy as
yeah,
fuck.
he tries to be real creepy with her, like
I've been
the,
finding you.
yeah.
Do you hang out at MSG a lot?
Yep.
I can't do. I wish I could do his accent.
Like
So
I need
weird.
to practice for a week and then see what we
I-
get next week.
I,
See if we
I-
can see if we can get it better by next week. Do you go to MSG all the time?
That was nothing.
Get
like it.
away from me. Get away from me, you fucking weirdo.
So she wants to know if he's been following her, and he wants to walk her home, but obviously she says no because
I want to walk you home. If
Yes,
anyone
yeah.
ever says that to you, just stab that person right in the face.
Yes.
If that's their opening line, that's
Yeah.
weird.
And he also knew her name.
Yeah.
So
Brenda.
she leaves. A couple minutes later, he leaves the bar too, and she starts to tail him, but he knows it. He grabs her and tells her to be quiet. Kurgan shows up and attacks them.
Kurgan.
Oh, this is a great scene.
Brenda throws McLeod a pipe, and they start fighting.
Again,
Master-
a pipe.
Master Pipesman. Master Pipesman.
These swords that are indestructible cannot
Yeah.
cut through a pipe.
Kurgan is
Am I laying the pipe?
is-
Yeah.
I mean, he did already with Candy.
Kurgan is winning.
That's the most rated R thing you've said on this show in a long time.
Me?
Yeah, it was racy.
What are you talking about? He's talking about pipes, man. I assume he means like a plumber.
Okay. Kurgan is winning, but they get interrupted by a police chopper.
Where did
They-
this police all country with?
They're just
Hey.
they're just flying around.
What are you
Yeah.
guys doing? Hey, come
They
back!
both run away, and that's the best line. They yell, "Hey, where are you going?"
Where are you going? Hey, come back! We're in
Hey.
a helicopter. You can't
guys
leave.
fighting?
I like that in the 80s, New York City was so bad they just had helicopters patrolling the street, patrolling the air.
Just looking for black people to
Yes.
arrest.
Yeah. Looking to harass people.
Okay. Brenda catches up with McLeod, and she wants answers about what a Highlander is because Kurgan called him one. McLeod tells her to leave and that she should value her one life.
That's not
Go back.
obvious.
Yeah. We go back to Scotland, and Connor has healed up, and no one thinks it's natural. They think he
Risen
has
from the dead.
the devil
Hey
in him.
guys, let's have a beer. You were
It's
just
the
dead,
very
motherfucker.
next day. It's the very next day. The town put him in stocks and then start beating him and
Oh,
running him
yeah.
out of
They
town.
want to burn him at the stake, which made me
His
think
girlfriend
of,
leads the charge on who wants
yeah,
him
which
dead.
made me think
Yeah.
of
And
his
Dougal,
cousin.
his
And
cousin, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They all turn on him, and it made me think of Mighty Python.
Yeah.
Burn her at the stake. She turned me into a newt. I got better.
Angus convinces Connor that to leave, and he's just going to be banished from
Yeah.
the clan.
And then they just send him off, still in the stocks.
Still in the
Yeah, they
stocks,
don't take him out. God damn it.
How does he get out of those stocks? He just like shows up at another town like, hey, this is just a mistake. Don't worry.
Pay no mind to this.
Wait a minute.
Back in New York City, McLeod goes to his apartment and sits down to think.
Sweet
in a very
apartment.
cool, like, artifact room.
Gas history museum apartment.
Yeah. Then we go back to Scotland, and Connor is working, and his girl Heather,
Yeah.
Heather comes up to give him food. They have a picnic. Now,
Sex
I was
picnic.
I was
Yeah.
watching on YouTube, and it jumped ahead like it cut out a scene.
Sex
I'm
picnic.
guessing there was a sex scene.
Oh, it was real sexy.
Sex
Oh.
picnic.
Wait, so we never figure out how he met Heather.
Nope.
Nope.
We never figure out how he got out of that shit.
Mhm.
How he met her. But then they like hang out at a fucking dilapidated castle.
Yeah, a sweet
By
castle.
themselves.
And so yeah, they're together. They make love, and is this where Connery comes
He
close
shows
to
up after
Yep.
that.
comes close
So-
to killing them?
They have sex. They have their picnic, and then they start to go for round 2, and then that's when Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez shows
So
up
good. So
and
good.
introduces himself.
For the only time in his career, Sean Connery is in a movie based in Scotland, and they're
Based
like, you know
in
what?
Scotland.
Do a Spanish accent.
No.
One of
Sp-
2
Okay.
actual Scottish people in the movie, I think.
If they take Sean Connery and make him Highlander, this movie's 100 times better.
Yes.
Yeah, but you have to be way younger.
Who cares? He's still hot. Look at that.
Well,
Good looking guy.
the thing is that so
What did Highlander do that was so skillful that Sean Connery could not have done?
That's true.
And then
Yeah.
look good.
so
He was a good looking lad.
Supposedly Sean Connery worked with a dialect coach. For this.
How? How?
No, he
No, that ain't true.
No.
There's no way.
Well, this
Even when he says the name, I could not understand it at all.
all
It's
he
like,
does
oh,
is
my
add.
God.
He just rolls his R's. That's all.
Kind of.
He just goes, "I'm Spanish, Ramirez." That's all.
also, this must have been the reason
Spanish out.
that he got cast in Hunt for Red October. Like,
Ooh.
you nailed that Spanish accent. Now do Russian.
Yes.
Oh my God, comrade!
Oh my god.
What the
And
hell?
he only did a week of filming. He did a week of filming and got paid like $1
He's-
million.
Yeah, he's in like 10 minutes of the movie.
And they explained
The
that away
best
too.
10
But
minutes,
he's like,
though.
I lived in China and Japan and like India, so that's why it's such a weird accent.
Yeah, he says he's Egyptian.
Egyptian.
That was
Yeah.
he goes, well, I'm Egyptian. So why the fuck are you called Ramirez then? What is going
He just
on?
had very many different names.
Exactly.
He has a ton of peacock feathers though, and it's sweet.
He looks great.
Haggis,
Looks-
peacock.
Fucking awesome.
Oh my god, he gets called haggis like 7 times.
And he doesn't know what haggis is?
Nope.
Oh my God.
How do you act as Sean Connery and act like you don't know what haggis
Have
is?
to be able to deliver these lines with a straight face.
What is haggis?
Sounds revolting.
Is that like the gimmick? Like we're gonna put him as ridiculous as we can put him,
It
and
has
we're
to
gonna
be.
put him in Scotland so you laugh at this. Maybe.
So Juan tells him that he knows who Connor is. The weather starts getting bad and Connor gets struck by lightning, and Juan tells him that it's the quickening and that they're the same person.
The
So
quickening.
then we go back to New York City. Brenda convinces the detective to go to lunch with her. Then she sneaks back into his office and finds his case file with McLeod. McLeod is in his apartment sharpening his sword and looks at a book on sword making written by Brenda.
How convenient.
Like,
That's
what
how,
does she,
that's how
what
he
does
knows
she
who she
do?
is. She's a cop. God damn it.
That's an example,
Yeah, she's-
as Mike said, just putting it out there for you. Just here's the information.
This is how that's how she pays the bills.
She's an author
By knowing all
on
about
old weapons who is
swords.
employed by the fucking police department.
You know the cops have
What?
people like that.
But
They have sword maker.
gun violence didn't really get big until what, 1990? So at this
Yeah.
point, swords are the main weapons on the street, I believe.
In New York City in the 80s? Yes, of course.
They needed a sword guy or gal.
all right. We go back to
You like
Scotland.
this movie? Like legitimately
Yes.
like this movie? I think
Yes.
it's good.
Yes.
We go
I
back
mean,
to
it's fun to
Scotland.
watch, but
Exactly.
it's wacky as fuck.
Juan is rowing a boat, teaching Connor about balance, and then he purposely tosses Connor overboard and tells him that he can't drown because he's immortal.
What is it? He
But
calls
also-
it,
What happens here?
he calls him a peacock a bunch, but some kind of peacock, like a
Is it that he can't swim or he just got weighed down?
He can't swim
swim.
But
But
then he
he's-
can breathe and talk underwater.
So he lives on
Exactly.
an
'cause
island.
he's immortal.
He lives on an island, but he doesn't know how to swim.
I'm very confused
He
about
doesn't live on an island. He lives.
Scotland is part of England.
Okay,
Okay,
but
but
still.
It's
yeah,
an island.
it's not like you're going
And
20 feet and hitting the water everywhere.
They live in the Highlands.
Yes.
If the immortal shit, I don't understand. Maybe you can explain this to me, because he can get stabbed and like die and come back to life. But if he goes
Only if
underwater
you
and
lose your
drowns,
head.
right? But he gets stabbed and like seems like he's gonna die.
But that's his
Like
first time.
he suffers the injury, is what I'm saying.
Right.
When he
right.
goes and drowns, he doesn't drown. He can just talk underwater and, hey, what's up?
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't understand. He gets shot later, and he's just like, whatever. So I don't understand the like,
all
how it
effects are
works.
different. It's obviously all different.
So he's on the bottom of the lake. He realizes he's alive and he can breathe.
Water.
So he starts walking his way to the shore. He tries to sneak up on Juan, but he misses, and Juan disarms him. They talk about being immortal and how it works. They can only die if their head is separated from their body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Juan also explains the gathering, which is an irresistible pull to a faraway land to fight for the ultimate prize when there's only a few immortals left. Then we get Juan teaching Connor how to fight montage. He tells him that that holy ground is the only place where they are safe, and none of the immortals will fight on that ground.
Yeah.
Which is where we never find out what that is.
Holy
No, it's
ground.
a church, a holy ground.
Church. Yeah.
Church.
Oh, all right, that part. Yeah, forgot about that part.
Which is a trope that's been used in many movies.
Yeah, of course. Right. I forgot about the lighting of the candle.
Now this part was weird. Juan teaches Connor to feel the heartbeat and the blood of the stag that's standing near them. Yeah, but how does that?
So he
have
can
anything
feel
to do?
other Highlanders?
I guess.
He could feel. He could just. I don't know. He could.
So I realized it's not that they're all called Highlanders. They're all called immortals. He's called the Highlander.
Because he's from the Highlands.
Just
Yes.
him.
Of Scotland.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Kurgan
okay,
is called Kurgan
Yeah,
because he's from the Kurgans.
So there can only be one
Where are the Kurgans?
immortal guy?
Yes.
Why can there only be one?
Because they're just because.
But then there can be more than one, because Sean Connery and him hang out.
There could be only one when the gathering happens, and only
Yes.
one can get the gift, the prize.
And what was the prize again?
To live a life, I guess.
And to get
Oh, is that the prize?
yes,
He's
To have
just
kids?
not immortal anymore?
not immortal, and he gets fucked up by ghosts.
Yeah, ghosts.
Yeah.
He gets fucked by ghosts?
Kind of.
Again, you like he legitimately.
All right. Anyway, Connor wants a family, but Juan tells him immortals can't have children. Juan shows him a sword that was made by his last wife's father, which was like
200 BC or something.
Yeah.
The
Long
sword
ago.
Was, yeah, he like 1,000
Sakimoto
years
or
ago,
something
like that.
Yeah.
He was
that
devastated
part
when
made
his-
me think of when James Bond goes and like lives in Japan. Has that awful scene in James Bond where he needs
Yes.
he gets plastic surgery to look
Asian,
Japanese.
yeah.
So
Oh,
bad.
Jesus.
So
Juan says he was devastated when his wife died and he wants to spare Connor of that pain. And then they talk about Kurgan,
Mm-hmm.
how he is the strongest of all immortals and would use his power for evil if he won the gathering. Juan and Heather are talking in Connor's house, and then all of a sudden Juan gets very serious and he tells her to leave, just as Kurgan busts through the door and they start to fight.
he busts through a lot of stuff. Like he's always busting through.
Juan slices Kurgan's throat, but it doesn't kill him because he doesn't get all the way through the head.
But
the
it-
throat.
It hurts him
Right. And they're in that castle.
for a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, this is like the
This is
cinematography is
awesome.
awesome. The fucking special effects are awful.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean
when the
special?
when the bricks and the stones are falling down and he's like
This is-
chopping the
this is-
castle
He
apart.
chops the wall and the bricks
Yeah.
blow back.
You're
into
saying
him.
1986, but we had three.
Yeah.
We had 3 Star Wars already. So
yeah,
it's
not everyone had Lucas's budget.
okay.
You know,
Maybe it's budgetary, but yes, the falling of the castle was some bad special effects.
come on.
So they start fighting up the tower.
On a staircase to nowhere.
Yep.
Okay.
Kurgan gets thrown over the edge and he falls down to the ground floor. He gets back up though, and they start fighting back up to the tower. His strikes are breaking the tower apart. He starts to get the better of Juan as the entire tower is collapsing. They both stick each other, but Kurgan is able to decapitate Juan and gain his power.
Damn.
And then
Couldn't pay Sean Connery anymore, so we had to
Nope.
decapitate him here.
Kurgan captures Heather as well.
And
And
has his way with her.
yeah.
Well, we don't know that yet.
I mean, you kind of figure he's doing something.
Yeah.
She doesn't tell Highlander.
No.
But here's my question. So we spent all this time with exposition about the gathering and there can only be one and all that. But meanwhile, apparently they can wander the world and just kill each other whenever they want.
Yep.
Well, no, only when the gathering happens, when they feel that pull.
So why doesn't he also kill Highlander while he's there?
Yeah, Kurgan just does what he wants, obviously.
How long is this gathering though? Because obviously they were.
I feel like the gathering has been happening over the past few years, leading up to the events of
So he
what
moved,
happened in the movie.
he moves to New York to just be a guy.
400 years later.
I don't know.
Yeah, the quickening and the gathering aren't explained too great. They're kind of confusing.
So then we go back to the city. Brenda is in the antique shop and McLeod comes to talk to her and she questions him about everything going on. He asks her to dinner. The detective knows that Brenda was in the antique shop even though she shouldn't have been. And then McLeod and his assistant talk about his immortality.
Now, did you guys watch the scene, the World War II scene?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Why did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I guess that was not part of certain
Cuts?
Oh,
yes.
really?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because it's kind of important to the
Yeah.
side story of this
Pretty
movie.
important.
Yeah.
So what I saw was we see McLeod running around in a war zone. He finds a little girl hiding in a rundown barn, and he starts to carry her away when he's shot in the back by a German.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he wakes back up, and she learns that he's immortal. And
It's a kind of magic.
Exactly. And he kills the German with his own gun. Then flash back forward, and Rachel is his assistant, and they've been hanging out friends for, what were we in, 86 by then? So 40 years?
You think at some point they
Probably.
did more than hang out?
It seems that way.
I think she loved him, but I don't think he loved
A
her.
little Woody Allen.
It makes it seem like he's like, you'll be fine. Don't worry about me. Just take all my money.
Yeah.
He gives her all the money at the end.
Yeah.
So she tells him that he's lonely and he needs to let someone love him. Yeah, and then he leaves. Brenda hides a gun and a tape recorder in her apartment as McLeod shows up.
Hell of a first date.
Are we going to eat in the hallway?
Do it with the accent.
Yeah, with the accent, it's just even so weird. Just creepy.
She goes to do something in the other
Her
room.
earrings on. And then also, can I take your coat? No.
Yeah.
I have a giant sword in here.
Yes.
I can never take this coat off.
He
I'll see you
immediately
in a minute.
Enjoy this present, which is your fucking book. So weird. What a dick.
Such a dick move.
Giant dickhead. Enjoy your own book.
He immediately finds the gun, the tape recorder, and then he looks out the window and notices that there's a cop staking out the place. So she tells him that she works for a museum, which explains her interest in all the ancient weapons. They share some brandy, and he recites things that happened in 1783 when the brandy was made.
Bryn.
Then
I wish I could do that accent. Goddamn.
Then
Right,
she
give it a
opens.
try. You're getting there.
Oh my god!
By the end of the show,
Keep going, Wally.
Then she opens the present he brought for her, which is her book, and he calls her out on working for the police, having the gun and tape recorder, and the policeman outside. She explains that she just wants to understand the sword because it was dated from 600 BC, but was created with a technique from the Middle Ages. And he just leaves. We go back to Scotland. Heather and McLeod are looking at the crumbled tower, and we then get a montage of them through the years. And she dies from old age, but he promises to light a candle on her birthday for her every year. Back to the
So sad.
city. Yes.
Very sad.
McLeod meets his immortal friend Castigar.
Yes.
Why wasn't this guy this more? He was great.
Hey,
They live in New York together.
There's one scene that makes almost no sense, but is funny, is the duel. The duel scene.
I thought that scene was awesome.
Yeah,
That scene is great.
But there's like
It's one of the best things in the movie.
But it
his
makes no
drunken
sense.
duel.
But why is he drunk? It's not like we had known he'd ever been drunk. And
Nope.
why did that guy kill his
Own assistant? Yeah, I don't
That
know. But the whole thing was
that
great.
kept kissing him?
It's hilarious. Best scene of the movie.
So they share some drinks and they reminisce about the last time they partied together, which is the duel where he
But
gets
then-
stabbed.
So these
stabbed like
dudes
20
haven't
times.
hung out since like 1778.
Yeah.
At least.
But we don't even see that dude, the African dude.
He's not there. Yeah.
Nope.
Well, he couldn't be in public in those times.
Yeah, especially in Boston
Ouch.
Commons. Especially in the Boston Commons, where the supposedly was. He could barely probably get through the Boston Gardens during
At modern
86.
day,
Yeah,
1986.
1986, yeah.
Yeah.
Then we go to Kurgan, who's leaving his hotel.
Oh, you're gonna gloss over the.
Well, you guys described the whole fucking thing already.
It was so good.
It was so
It
wack.
was so good. Best part of the movie.
Why did the guy keep kissing his? Why did
know.
he kiss him?
And then he
just
kills
walks
him.
awa- Yeah,
and then he
kills
kills
him.
him.
McLeod just walks away, so the guy gets mad and kills his own elf.
He has like his wig on backwards. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I wasn't ready." Even though he got shot in the chest.
Sorry, I called your
Hilarious.
wife a goat.
Yeah.
Called your wife a goat. Say it in the accent.
Uh,
Sorry, I called your wife a goat.
So Kurgan's leaving his hotel, and he tells the front desk guy never to speak to him again because he mentioned something about candy.
Some weird stuff.
Yep. Which we've already covered again. So
I think
good
he
job
likes-
waiting, guys.
I think high heels on his nuts, I think, was part of it.
Oh, easily.
Okay. We see a man driving a red Firebird down an
In
alley,
cashews, right?
Oh man, this guy. Where did this guy come
Of
from?
course.
and he sees two men fighting with swords. So yeah, he stops.
This is
Natural.
it. And he's got guns. He's got
Pulls out-
Uzis.
Yep, pulls out a gun.
And this
yeah,
guy's like
pulls out an
fucking.
Uzi.
He's like fucking indestructible. He gets
Yeah.
stabbed right through the fucking gut
Yeah.
and lives.
Do you ever want to wait for me to get to the part of the movie where these things happen?
Just saying, he's indestructible.
Does Kurgan ever
So-
meet up with the Highlander, Murray?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So the two who are fighting is Castigar and Kurgan. So the man grabs his gun and starts running towards them. He yells at them, but they continue fighting until Kurgan chops off Castigar's head. This is when the man starts to shoot Kurgan, and he falls down. The man starts walking forward and looking for him. And out of nowhere, Kurgan stabs him and lifts him up and stabs him through the
Yeah.
chest and lifts him up.
Yeah. He stabs him, lifts him up, and this dude lives.
And then throws him against the wall. Castigar's body starts floating and glowing. There's a bunch of people now watching as
Yeah,
Kurgan,
everyone in New York was walking down through that back alley.
Kurgan gains more power and everything in the alley starts to blow up again, obviously. He steals a car from an old couple who the lady does not get out of the car.
Nope, doesn't get out.
Nope.
Hi, Bob.
And then there's like a creepy montage of him. Oh no, that's later. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But she doesn't get out of the car until he starts driving, and then she gets out through the roof and
Oh yeah.
is on the front of the car. Like, what the fuck?
As you do.
So the detective goes to the hospital to talk to the gun guy, and he shows him a picture of McLeod, and he wants him to ID him as his attacker, and he said, nope, that's not the dude. He then tells him the rest of the story about what happened. And they obviously think he's crazy because the guy starts glowing and blowing up, and nobody's going to believe that. The cops get made fun of by a hot dog vendor. Brenda is researching McLeod's fake name, and her helper helps discover that they have a guy who has been around since the 1700s taking possession of a single property every so often with the name of a child who had been dead
From
for
Syracuse, Russell.
Keeps getting dropped.
years.
And then has the most sophisticated piece of software that I've ever seen. That's able to take all the signatures and
Yep.
line them
Yeah.
up.
Line up the signatures of whatever Nash, whatever his name is.
And from all the old ones.
And it's the
Mhm.
same
And they-
handwriting.
She realizes that it's all the same guy, so obviously something's weird. So McLeod goes to a church and he lights a candle for Heather's birthday, and then Kurgan shows up and
Yeah,
snuffs
so
out
good.
all the prayer candles.
Looking all weird.
Oh, he's incognito.
He shaved his head so no one could find him.
Yep.
He shaved his head, but
Left
kept
that one
thing for a ponytail for that skull tattoo.
side ponytail.
Oof.
Side of the head ponytail.
Oh, let me just say, Clancy Brown, who plays the bad guy, is so good in this.
He's
so good.
insane. He's
So,
in
so good.
Shawshank. He's the guard. Shawshank.
He's
Oh,
the
okay.
He's the
Yeah,
bad
he's-
guard. Yeah, okay.
he's
Bad
the guard,
guard,
and he's
Shawshank.
done the voice of like a million different characters in cartoons.
He did the voice of what's that demon monster in Thor Ragnarok, where Thor is all chained up.
Sir.
He's
Oh,
Surtur.
Surtur. He does the voice of Surtur
Yeah.
in Thor Ragnarok, that's a funny scene where he's like
said
tied
it
up
like
in the
a
chains.
million.
He's like, he's turning around and around. He's like, hold on, let me turn around again so I can see your ugly face.
So Kurgan shows up and he snuffs out all the prayer candles before talking to McLeod.
What
He
a
tells
dick.
him that Castigar is gone, and then eventually he just basically says that he had his way with McLeod's with Heather.
Heather.
Yep. McLeod starts to
Fucking-
get very angry at this. Obviously, starts putting his hands on Kurgan, but they're on holy ground, so he can't do anything.
Nope.
But Kurgan can creep out some nuns.
Happy
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah, he
He
leaves.
They're just like,
Or McLeod
Oh,
leaves,
fuck.
and then a priest comes over to
Oh man, this
tell
is so
Kurgan
good.
to be quiet, and Kurgan acts like a real weirdo.
And so he licks his hand.
Yeah, he makes a scene, and then he eventually does leave the church. Brenda confronts McLeod about his fake name at his antique shop, so he brings her up to his circular room with all his artifacts.
Super cool room.
here's
Mhm.
my secret room of shit. I'm a hoarder.
He tells her about his immortality and hands her a knife, which she forces her to stab him with to prove that he is in fact immortal.
Hell of a second date.
Mhm.
First date, you put a gun in a box. Second date, you stab me in the chest and we bang.
They kiss and then more fucking.
This movie fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, he is all over her.
Then
Let's see.
the next scene I got was they
Poor
were at
woman.
the zoo. Randomly at the zoo.
Yep. So he could
So-
talk to lions? Is that
Yep,
what's
the
happening?
the lions don't like him at all. He tells
Right.
Brenda that he can't get involved again. I'm guessing she wants to be more, and he said no.
Likely
see Kurt-
excuse. You're immortal and you can't.
We see Kurgan in the background watching them. So she leaves to go to her place, but Kurgan's there and he breaks into her place and kidnaps her. And then he this is the scene where he's driving like a crazy man and he's got her in the seat and he causes a bunch of car crashes. And I
Just
think he hits some
kills-
pedestrians, right?
He kills
a
people.
bunch of people, and this is to Queen's never released New York, which is awesome.
Right. And she's so afraid, she passes out from fear.
Yes.
And McLeod learns about this because he left him a voicemail.
Yes, he left him a message. Oh, I drove your girlfriend. Oh
McLeod
God,
tells
Kurgan.
Rachel that he left her a bunch of money and stuff like that, and she says that he's not coming back whether he wins or loses. He tells her that we knew this day was going to come sooner or later, because he's immortal. Then he goes to the hotel where Brenda is hung up on the sign on the roof. So he climbs up to cut her free, and that's when Kurgan attacks.
Obviously.
They
Trap, come on.
They duel on the sign, and Kurgan starts destroying it. The sign begins to fall down, and Brenda's still on top of it. There's a water tower that falls over and floods the roof because in all the fights, there's been rain. Everything had rain.
Mm-hmm.
Or some kind of water.
The Gathering.
The rest of the sign falls over, and Brenda is hanging on over the edge of the roof. She climbs up as McLeod and Kurgan keep fighting. There's electricity shooting between them. They both fall through the roof to a wide open, huge room.
They fall a long way, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kurgan gains the upper hand and is about to deal the killing blow again when Brenda hits him in the back with a lead pipe, which
So
he no-sells.
Highlander cheats. Highlander gets interference. He cheats.
McLeod gets up and saves her with his sword, and then McLeod finally gets the best of Kurgan and decapitates him.
He does say to her, like, what took you so long?
Yeah.
When she hits him with the pipe, and it's like, that was part of your plan to rely on this fucking antiquities sword person? Good plan.
He gains Kurgan's power and wins the final prize. He says there can be only one, and the windows shatter inwards as he gains all the power.
This scene's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
McLeod
he gets all the powers.
Gets all the powers of those weird demon things coming.
Bang him.
Yeah.
Or whatever they did to him. They saved all the money for this movie on special effects for this part.
For this scene.
Yeah.
McLeod and Brenda are in Scotland now, and he explains the power that he has. He knows everything that people all over the world are thinking if he concentrates hard enough.
Everything that everyone's thinking all the time.
And now he can die too, right?
Yep, and Sean
Yes.
Connery tells him that he can die and
What a
have kids
terrible...
now.
You're immortal, but now you're not immortal anymore, and also you have to listen to everyone's problems in the world. What a terrible prize he gets.
But you can have children as well.
Yes.
Also, if Sean Connery can talk to him from the afterlife, how come Kurgan can't be like yelling at him too?
It's kind of like a
From the
Force Ghost
afterlife?
thing.
Yeah, they do the Force Ghost. Ay. This movie is wacky.
So awesome.
It was fun, though.
Something.
It was fun.
It is fun.
Fun, awesome 80s movie.
It is fun. That's for sure.
and
There's like
so
100 other Highlander movies too, aren't there?
Well,
There's a bunch.
the crazy thing is, in the second movie, you find supposedly because obviously, what else can you do?
Yeah.
He killed all the other ones, so there's no.
There's only one. So it come to find out, they make this shit up that they're aliens from a different planet.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Is
And
it the same weird dude again?
Sean Connery's back, and it's a different bad guy.
Is it the same? Highlander is the same?
I believe yes, but they're from a different
what
planet. Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Highlander has wrestling in it.
Better than Roddy Piper's movie.
So awesome.
Better than They Live. Mike, do you agree? I feel like he does.
No. It's close.
This is better than They Live.
Close.
Certainly a lot of fun. Certainly a lot of fun. All right. That is the end of that.
Mhm.
And now it is who, Bill?
It is I.
Are you also going to pick a weird movie with weird accents?
No, I'm going to pick a weird TV show instead.
Oh, okay. Weird TV show.
We will watch 3 episodes. We will watch season 3, episode 11, season 3, episode 19, and season 4, episode 5 of Comedy Bang Bang, the TV show.
Oh man.
2 episodes
What?
feature Jesse, the Mind, Body, and Soul Ventura.
Yes.
Oh,
And one
played
episode
by
features-
James Adomian.
Yes, and one episode features other wrestler Tiny Lister, aka Zeus.
Yes.
Nice.
So I
Bill,
will
can
send you
you
an
give
email with the
those-
specific. Yeah, I'll send you an email
Okay.
Where is this available to us?
on the Netflix, but only until like August. So
Yes.
Oh, you got to do
Oh,
it
we're
now.
gonna do it.
Okay.
We got to do it now.
Oh man, this is Comedy Bang Bangs. a
I've
show
never
that-
seen the show. I've listened to the
Oh.
podcast.
You ever seen it? Oh wow.
Oh, the show,
never seen
you
it.
should watch it. Watch them all while they're up there. So funny. This is a show that, like, if I got nothing else to watch, I'll just find an episode and turn
There's
it on.
a million episodes. The season's like 50 episodes long.
Oh, they're so good. So good. They're 22 minutes.
James Adomian as Jesse
So
the
good.
Body, Mind, and Soul is one of my favorite things. It's
So
one of my
funny.
favorite things. I have it like pinned in my YouTube favorite videos, and I go back and watch it all. Like a little stand-up set that he did as like conspiracy theory Jesse the Body Ventura,
Oh,
and
so
he
good.
keeps going like interrupting the comedy bit to go like McMahon.
Apparently he appears on the podcast like 20 times. I could only
Yes.
find 2 confirmed spots where he's on the TV show.
Oh yeah, he hasn't been on in a few years because I listen to Comedy Bang Bang every week, but he hasn't been on in a few years. But it's
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing now, but that was so funny.
he has his own show now called The Underculture,
Mhm.
where he'll interview Jesse the Body. He'll be Jesse the Body interviewing someone as like a celebrity. It's very
Oh.
funny. It could be very funny. Yes.
Okay. All right, I like it. Good.
Oh,
Or comedy.
Bang Bang. I
Or comedy
love-
TV shows. That's
One
right
of my
up.
favorite shows.
I listen to that show almost every day. Was it out every day? Is it out once a week?
Once a week.
Mondays. Yep, it's
I
out
used
every
to
Monday.
listen to that every Monday for probably about 7 years.
I recently picked it
I
up
didn't
again.
miss
I've
the
been
show.
listening the last couple months to it.
I didn't miss the
So
show. I think the entire time I was at my last job, I listened to it every single Monday. And I literally, as soon as it came out, I downloaded it and I listened to it. And then I would listen to the old ones too.
Oh yeah.
I downloaded all the old ones and I listened to them all.
Yep.
Because I just had so much like driving around time. I just listened to every single one. All right. Actually, I was just watching a dinosaur like thing with my son, and Werner Herzog was on narrating it. And it
The
made me
real
laugh.
Werner.
The real one. It made me laugh because I was thinking about the Paul F. Tompkins Werner
Oh,
Herzog.
so funny.
Which is
Isn't he?
awesome.
Doesn't he also do the ghost of what's his name, who's still alive?
Yes, the ghost of
Gary Marshall.
the playwright.
Oh, yes.
He does. He did Gary. He doesn't do Gary Marshall anymore, and he does do Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Yeah.
That's it.
Who,
Andrew
isn't
Lloyd
Andrew Lloyd
Webber.
Webber still alive?
Yes.
But he doesn't play him as a ghost.
I think he has played him as a ghost
Maybe.
before, though.
I think he was until they found out he was still alive.
Oh, boy. All right. That's going to be a good one. All right. This episode's over. There can only be one podcast that covers Highlander, and it's going to be us. Peace out.